We have a tendency to try and take a system and force it into what we want it to do, instead of potentially using what the system can do. And sometimes that creates problems in then using the system. And the system, it basically went down. We had significant stability issues. I mean, I wouldn't say we were unable to close the books, but we had a critical stability issue where the system did go down, and it took us a day or two to restore and go back and get back to where we needed to be, and we were losing valuable time. We weathered that storm, but we came out of it saying we have to do something. This is not a sustainable way to keep operating this system. So we said, let's look for a new partner. So we did some interviews of some various partners, and one of them was eCapital. And so through our interviews, we selected eCapital to help us assess what our options were and how to best move forward. So we hired eCapital and we worked through that upgrade. It went very well. We went live with it on time, and the benefits were immediate. The user experience improved. It was a more stable version. It was a better version of the software that we were using. So that's really where the relationship started, was in that kind of critical need where we needed to get something done. Picked eCapital as a partner, and the project went very well. Well, the person who was the backup administrator left first. And just as I'm hiring somebody, my administrator says, I'm leaving too. What am I going to do? I'm out my administrator and my backup administrator, and all this knowledge walks out the door. So the first thing I did is I called eCapital and said, I need immediate help, and it might be long-term. And we determined that the best way was to have somebody from eCapital come down and sit with our administrator during that 2-week period to try and get as absolutely much information learned, knowledge transfer, documented as we could. I started thinking about the replacement, and I thought, you know, I think we have the perfect person in-house for the job, even though they have no Hyperion administrator experience.
When I came into the position 2 years ago, eCapital was there to help me transition into the job as Hyperion administrator. They came on site for a couple of days. I had a crash course in Hyperion boot camp.
Julie, got up and running and got comfortable. We kept then eCapital more on we need maybe 10 hours of help a month.
They were very good about responding to my questions promptly.
And once she had a comfort with the system, I revisited something that I'd had on our old administrator's to-do list that had been put aside. And that was the version of Hyperion we were on was not compatible with Excel 2013 for SmartView.
Corporate was asked, when are we going to get rid of Excel 2007? We reached out to eCapital. They gave us options on what we could do.
At the same time as we were going down this how to get rid of Excel 2007, we had another complete different area in our company that was using some old software.
One of the biggest problems we had with it was in the design and in the execution, it had a lot of redundant data. So if we had a price change for, say, a grade of paper, we may have to make that change in 20, 30 different places, which created a lot of risk and obviously a lot of administration. When we talk about our print, paper, and distribution costs, or we'll call it PP&D, this is a $300 million a year kind of cost that is how we are planning and budgeting and making decisions going forward. So we have to be accurate in forecasting those costs, or the wrong decisions are made. There was frustration within our finance group on the accuracy of forecasting the cost issue over issue, title by title. So with this new system, when we implemented it back in August, we also put in a way to track our forecast accuracy. And year to date so far, we're forecasting our costs at 99.25% accuracy levels. So they're ecstatic with the results that we're seeing out of the system, and really the implementation by eCapital. Hyperion is a financial solution. My team, our 15 production managers, are not financial people at all. I don't think a single one of them has an accounting degree or a finance degree. They are, manufacturing people, operations type people. So it had to be a solution that was user friendly. And through the help of eCapital, the system was built and designed to allow that.
We've made it a lot easier to, when I've got to add new forms. In the old system, it was just horrendous. I told eCapital that, hey, can we make it easy to do this stuff? So that helped in my day-to-day.
We went through a series of 3-hour training classes with the end users, and as we moved into that, the amount of questions that I received, that Al received, that our subject matter experts received in transitioning over to this was really minimal. It was almost a non-event. I could not be more pleased with how eCapital performed through this. The system's one thing, but ultimately eCapital's ability to come in, understand our requirements, and translate it into a tool that is usable and quite honestly is 10 times better than the old tool was just remarkable. They exceeded all my expectations.
Because those two systems needed to talk to each other, we couldn't go very long with them being on the new cloud system and us being on the old system. So we really said, hey, here's our time frame. Can we get it done by mid-August? Can we go live before the 1st of September? Because if we don't go live until late September, we can't really do that, and then we're pushed until the 1st of November, and we didn't want to keep pushing it out because of that link to the other system. So we really said, boy, we need to get it done within, here's about a 10-day window that we can't slip any more than 10 days.
It was a crazy summer last summer. My job was to get everything into the cloud. eCapital did the majority of the work though for us. I trusted them to migrate all of the forms, data, reports, and security. They moved all of that for us. I had 2 dedicated people to work with. That was their job, and I worked with them daily, and it was a great experience.
So we managed to get it done with eCapital and Julie working on it diligently during the summer, and everything was up and running. We cut over right when we said we were going to, according to the original project plan.
The biggest thing about eCapital was their ability to grasp our business quickly. A lot of times with consultants, they get lost and they can't grasp what you're doing, and there's a huge disconnect there, and you're almost better off going down that path on your own and trying to develop on your own because you understand your business. I never felt that way with eCapital.
They are somebody that we trust, that we rely on. When our previous administrator left, and my first thought was panic. My second thought was call eCapital. And so it just helps bring down the stress level a little bit, knowing that I have a resource that I know I can count on.